If you have never beaded before and you're looking for a design that you can create to make you look like a pro, this particular beading design is for you. Or if you're looking for something simple to create very quickly, you can create this design. This right here is the base that I worked with. Let's go ahead and start beading. So first things first, we're going to be using size 6 crystal beads for this design. Feel free to use any bead or whatever size you choose. So we're also going to be using these stones right here as well, and we're going to use sand beads. Of course, needle and thread is very important, and we need a fabric pen. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the fabric, but when I marked it, I noticed that it wasn't clear, so I'm going to use the paper to illustrate. Now first things first, we're going to be working with the height, right, which is the body, and we're going to be measuring 1 inch, assuming we're going to use 1 inch space. So you can use 1/2 inch space or 2 inches space, is up to you. So I've done that side, the straight side, which is 1 inch, just for illustration purposes, right? We're also going to maintain the same line. Remember, we marked lines. So the first line, we're going to put the tape across that first line and start marking. So we're going to mark 1 inch there, 1 inch here, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, till we get to the end of this paper. So the next thing we're going to do after getting to the end is that we're going to go to the second line as well, but this time around, instead of doing 1 inch that will be in between, we're going to be shifting the tape so that the portion that hits 1 inch is actually going to be touching 1/2 inch. So by the time we do that and mark 1 inch, we're going to be doing 1 inch to the end. We'll discover that rather than being directly under the first line, it's going to be in between 2 lines at the middle. Now come to the third line as well and measure it the way we did it the first time, which is 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. By the time we do that, we come down to the second line and shift the tape. That's another way to do it. So the beginning of the tape now is where 1/2 inch is, so we start measuring 1 inch from there as well. So the rule is measure 1 inch to the end the first time. The second time, where that your 1 inch stops, that's where you put 1/2 inch. Then you start measuring 1 inch from there. You discover that what you have would be a very arranged system, but also not a straight line. Now this is what I mean. Let me mark this thing very clearly, all the lines I made. Let me just use the barrel to just paint it a little bit so that it will be clearer, so that you see the outcome of everything. As you can see, it's already coming off. So what you are seeing right here is what looks like mini triangles. So instead of having just one straight line, you just have one in between the other, like that. So the straight line you're having is just this line like this, and you see others on the sides rather than a straight line. So that is the arrangement we're going to be having. So if you transfer that to the dress, that's the same arrangement you're going to be having, and it's going to look aesthetic. So right here we've already marked it, so we're going to come to the bottom area of the dress as well, but I noticed it didn't also show, so we're going to go back to the paper. So now please permit my drawing, I'm not good at drawing, so I'll just draw a skirt area, just so that you have an idea. So we're going to use the same method, but this time we're going to use 1/2 inch, because of course the paper is small. So we'll do 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch from the middle, make it straight, 1/2 inch, turn it this way, 1/2 inch, turn it the other way, 1/2 inch. So we're just going to do that. So if we're doing it on the dress, that's how we're going to do it. So this is how we're going to mark it, but just so that you see it very clearly, let me just paint it so you see. Next thing to do is to mark the position of the beads, which in your outfit you're going to do the same thing. So we're going to be using the same 1/2 inch. So do 1/2 inch right there, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. So we'll come to this other side, do the same thing, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and the end. So that's what we have. So the next thing we're going to do is to also come down as well to mark the midpoint after the ones we had marked before. So we just go there and mark the middle, pick those two, mark the middle, like under the same position where it was. We just mark the middle all around, following the sequence and all that, the same method I showed you in the measurement we just did. So that's the same thing we're going to do. So let me just paint the picture a little bit, just to mimic the way the beads are going to be, so that you see better what it looks like. By the time we're done, we now started putting small dots inside all the empty spaces as a way to mimic the smaller beads that I mentioned, or sand bead. So actually the top and this V bottom area are the same, it's just that this one had a V. So let me just draw the full dress again and create the pattern. Please permit my drawing, I don't know how to draw. So now first things first is to now identify how we're going to do the top, right? So we're just going to mark the dot, 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 dot till we get to the point where we want it to stop. So I'm going to be using freehand, but it's just going to be make what we are supposed to do. So we come under, and in between each of the lines we create newer lines, and then finally on the waistline we just follow the first line. Now, but when you are doing your dress, feel free to do it however you want to, but this basically is what it will look like. This is sketch right here. So the top and the bottom, you know, are beaded, but the middle is empty, which is what we were shown on the dress. So let's just come straight to the dress and start beading. So we'll just tie right here, and the beading pattern for this dress is going to be very, very, very simple, like really simple. Just pick 3 crystal beads, you know, drop it right on the fabric, put your needle in front of the beads, just put it back a little bit, you know, bring it out, and then put your needle through the last 2 beads, either the last bead 1 or 2, the last 2 bead, whichever one you work with, it's okay, it's fantastic. So we're picking under 3 right here, and then we're also positioning the 3 downward, and then we'll just put the needle inside it, bring it out somewhere in middle, and then after bringing it out, we're just going to pass the same needle through 1 or 2 of the beads. Don't pass it through the 3, just pass it through 1 or 2. So that's what we're going to be doing basically to fill this bust area. So I've passed it right there, and then I'm going to take my needle to the next position. But sometimes the needle may come out in the wrong place. What we do is that we fix either sand bead or that other kind of beads to cover up for the position. So what we're seeing right here is that we're using sand bead to actually put there, and then we'll just take the needle to the next position where we marked and get another 3 size 6 crystal beads, put the needle inside it, bring it out, and then pass the needle back through the last 1 or 2 depending on what you want. And then we're going to be taking the needle again, and we're going to pass it back to where the new beads are supposed to be. So we're picking 3 crystal beads again, and we're putting it inside it. We're getting the needle back through the last 2, and we're going to keep doing this right here. One of the things about this beading pattern is that it's not full, so you can literally do it in a couple of hours, about an hour plus, definitely less than 3 hours or not more than 3 hours. But this right here is what, you know, it's looking like it's coming up to be. So keep fixing the beads on the positions where we already marked after measuring, and by the time we did it, I don't think you can watch me finish it up, so let me just do one last one, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like for now, and then you see what it looks like by the time we finish. So this right here is what it's looking like. It's kind of sparse, but you're seeing the arrangement right here. So we're going to fill the bust area, and then we'll come back. So this right here is the design by the time we're done. Like, yeah, this is what it looks like. We also did the same thing for the bottom area as well, and this is the finished work right here. If you are new to beading, just try this and you feel like a pro beader. Thank you so much for watching my video. See you in my next one. Bye.